Did you ever
Roberto.
think you'd have old friends in this crazy space?
Right.
All right, you can see Miro.
Mhm.
Hey, y'all. Gimbalabs Playground. It's the 23rd of May, 2023. And just want to give a quick open before we jump into things here. What you're looking at on my screen is the Gimbalabs Playground calendar. And you can see that we've been in season 2 of Gimbalabs Playground. It kind of followed the 2022-2023 academic year. Been a whole bunch of great presentations this year. Session, this is at least your second today. No, 3. Yeah, okay, 2, right?
2, yeah, it's
March
second.
and May. Okay. With a couple last year. But what we're going to do is start, really sticking kind of to the academic schoolyard calendar here with Playground and take a summer break. Don't worry, there's going to be a carnival this summer, but more on that in a couple weeks.
Nice.
When we wrap on June 13th. But yeah, for this season, really 2 presentations left. Session today and Quasar and company next week. So just want everybody to know, we will continue this structure in September, season 3, 23-24. Bull Market Playground is coming at you, but we'll get to that when the time is right. But for today, man, session, we got to know each other here at Playground. I remember just some early conversations of you just taking it all in. Finally, we talked. I had no
For
idea
months.
we were talking that much. Yeah, you listen, and then you let me all have it at once, and you've been running ever since. So it's been really fun, man, and I'm really excited. So it sounds like we've seen demos, we've seen proofs of concept, but like we're taking both of those ideas up a notch today, as I understand.
Yeah, it's actually a beta. I tried to edit POC there to beta.
Awesome.
Because I know Randall is probably scolding me on his side, like beta.
Kids
check your
try out
fucking DMs,
language
man.
on the playground all the time, right?
You DM me, Randall? Did you say
No.
that? He did. I know him already. Like, that's funny. I love
Yeah, we're
it.
in beta.
We're in beta, baby. We're not in proof of concept.
Hey, listen,
I wrote that weeks ago, Randall.
You know how many bad words I used the wrong way on the playground? It's you gotta just try out your language, make sure you're using the words right. That's what we're here for. But beta, okay. What do you got for
beta?
us?
Yeah. So
maybe a little background just to catch people up. I think a lot of people in the Catalyst community are aware of what's going on, but ecosystem's growing fast. So what do you want?
Oh,
to
no,
tell
for
us?
sure. So yeah, I guess I'll start with an intro of what DEMU is, and then get into the first DApp built on DEMU, right? And yeah, for all who don't know, my name is Session Cruz. I'm the founder of the DEMU protocol, but I'm looking at it here, and we're all friends here in this room. But yeah, YouTube is, anyway, it's our extended family, I guess, right? DEMU is a music rights protocol funded by Project Catalyst, by the way. That will simplify music licensing and music distribution for musicians and record labels with automatic royalty payments back to all rights holders. And I want to unpack the 3 pieces of that 30-second pitch. One, we are a protocol like the internet is a protocol, and we hope that music apps can build atop our protocol just like apps are built on top of the internet, right? With the challenge of paying or licensing music from artists and paying royalties for the revenues generated already solved for those applications, right? They don't need to know a guy to license the music or suffer the administrative burden of paying millions of artists their royalties, which will take months to do, right? If they grow to that level where they have to pay millions of artists their royalties. So apps can focus on building their businesses, right? By building a top of DEMU, right? Building the cool thing that makes their music app unique. Another thing I want to unpack is music licensing. Many people, artists, I was an artist and didn't know what music licensing was throughout my entire artist career, right? Didn't even know what that was. Music licensing refers to the process through which creators grant permission to use their copyrighted music in various media formats like film, television, advertising, and streaming platforms. So Demu allows artists and labels
and get paid for it.
And get paid for it. Exactly. So
Excellent.
Demu allows artists and labels the ability to license their own music across all the music apps, and the myriad ways one can generate revenue from the music, right? And the third, so you can think of Demu as the layer in between the record label and the artist and all the applications, or all the sales channels, right? It's just the way that allows the two to transact with one another. The third thing I want to unpack is royalties, right? In Web3, royalties has a different meaning. And I've been, kind of bumping against that. It's revenue generated on the secondary sale of the NFT. That's how Web3 understands what a royalty is. But in music licensing, when you rent your music, so to speak, to other applications, or rent your IP, really is the proper way to say that, you earn a share of the revenue that IP is generating. This is called a royalty, right? And so now that I'm done unpacking those three parts, protocol, royalties, and music licensing, I want to repeat my 30-second pitch, see how it lands, right? With this new understanding. Demu is a music rights protocol that'll simplify music licensing and music distribution for musicians and record labels, with automatic royalty payments back to all rights holders. So that's what Demu is. So, and what I'm going to show you guys today, because you can't show someone a protocol, right? You have to show someone an app built on top of the protocol, right? So we built an application as a showcase of what the Demu protocol can do, right? A jukebox, pay a token, play a song, and with the auto distribution of the value of that token to all the rights holders of the song being played via the underlying Demu protocol that the jukebox is built on top of, right? So yeah, so that's it. That's my spiel. I guess I'll share my screen and get right into the demonstration. I can show you better than I can tell you. Boom, share. So now we're on my screen. And what you're seeing here is, just like a home page, or like what could be like a marketplace for an artist. Our vision, by the way, before I continue, our vision is, and now I'm going to go off many side tracks because that's what I do as I see them as they come. And hopefully Randall will reel me in. And Peter too.
Consider it done.
Right. So our vision is that all artists and record labels can be their own store, right? Their own record store that can sell not only albums again, but also music streams, right? Directly, right? They can be their own Spotify. And we'll talk about why fans would, I've had to answer the question, why would someone buy an album when they can stream unlimited for $9.99 on Spotify? And we have an answer for that. And that is we helped to establish a new music format. But we'll get into what that music format is, how it works, and why fans would want to buy that. For now, let me finish my thought. The vision is for artists to sell their own music, to be their own, instead of driving traffic to a third-party vendor, whether that's Spotify or someone else, that they drive their hard-earned fan base to their own to their own homes, right? Not driving them to Spotify where they get, where the algorithms distribute, suggest other content to your fan base and effectively taking them from your home to elsewhere, right? We want the record labels and the artists to own their own customers. I use the term Spotify meets Shopify, right? Where any artist can be their own store and offer their own embeddable music player down the roadmap. That's not what I'm showing today, but the vision is that any artist can embed a blockchain connected music player on their homepage or whatever page, and make available their music, right, for purchase, where people have to connect their wallet to stream the songs or buy the albums, and that money gets auto distributed to the rights holders, right? So that's the vision, and I can unpack that in the Q&A. I've also been told to stop preempting the questions because I've been doing this so long that I can already kind of foresee some of the questions that'll be asked, and I answer them before they get even asked. Anyway, so music player. So here we are. Here's the music player, and we chose. Effectively, we are our own first artist, right? We didn't want to use an actual artist as a guinea pig, right? That'd be disrespectful to their music. And, you know, we want to make sure we get this thing right before some artist puts their music in the DME protocol and offers it for sale, right? And we needed to make sure all things were good. So we effectively, again, we're our own record label and artist by putting out an album of public domain works as a demonstration to how to sell music in the way that we're going to describe today, and how our other artists can pick up the tools and do the same thing, right? So, so here we are. Here's the music player, and first I'll demonstrate the stream. I have not bought an album myself yet. I've been waiting for a moment like this where I demonstrate it, and so here we are. So first, I would connect the wallet to the player. I can choose even. Let me
Choose
unpack.
gimbals.
Of course, we're gonna choose gimbals. Of course. So let me also unpack this part because it was confusing. The messaging was confusing to our early beta testers and people with questions. They were like, "Oh, so artists can accept these other tokens, and how do they get paid? Like, how does this turn into money?" And so it was confusing, that messaging. And so I need to underscore because this is public domain works and we are the artists determining what tokens we want to accept. We can choose Gimbalabs, we can choose Husky and Yummy and other tokens, but obviously I'm not proposing that artists in the real world accept these tokens. They should get real money for their work. Not saying that these doesn't have value as well, but and it actually opened up the door to this idea that artists can actually, just like we did, choose to accept these native assets instead, right? I think that's a pretty cool idea. I can even think of, again, the DMU protocol wants apps built on top of this protocol. I envision maybe an app that builds on top of that, serves like an exchange, perhaps, that artists can perhaps accept these native assets, and this exchange automatically exchanges them for ADA or stablecoin or whatever, right? So anyway, I'm going down another rabbit hole, but I just needed to clarify that for this proof of concept or beta, that we are accepting alternative assets, but artists will be able to accept fiat. Just take fiat directly, or starting with a stable coin, but the holy grail is that they can just accept fiat, right, through a paper wallet solution or something like that, right? Okay, I'm ranting on too much. Let me keep going. Is there anything else I missed, Randall, from that mini rant there, or should I continue?
Just the bit where there's music.
What do you mean?
Click the play button, man.
All right. I'm taking requests. Which song do we play? We'll play
Winter.
Winter. Where's that at? There's so many damn songs.
It's a violin concerto, number 4, Winter. Near the bottom.
Oh, there it goes. Boom. So you click play, and we have to sign a transaction for it. Now, this is just a beta. There it goes. So I paid for the play, and it pays, and that transaction goes automatically to our wallet, right? What I want to say about this flow, this experience, is on our roadmap. We want to make it so you don't have to sign a transaction every time you play a song. That's clunky. So this is just a beta. This is just to demonstrate the system in action to an artist or record label who doesn't even understand that this is even possible yet. But
actually, I think that use case comes up here in about another 2 minutes, right after you buy the album.
Oh, yep. So
We weren't quite able to hear the music, by the way.
Oh, you guys can't hear the music? Oh, fuck. Oh no, I keep forgetting. I'm such a noob with the Zoom shit. I had to press the button, right? Yep, share sound. Duh. Fuck. That was the second time I fucked up. Music now. I'll let it. It plays, but it didn't play before. In fact, let's do it again because you guys missed it. So I'll play a new song. So I'm gonna play this one, and again, it'll prompt me to pay for it in gimbals. That's what this is here, right? 3 gimbals. That. So I gotta type the password again. This will be done away. Oh, what happened here?
Submit error. This is probably Nami not knowing that a UTXO already got spent.
Okay. Should I was gonna screenshot that, but I have too many windows here.
No, it's all good.
Should I try again?
Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do as developers about that case. Nami, get it together.
Yeah, I disconnected and I'm gonna connect again just in case that's what's needed. I'll go to gimbal and let's play another song. Boom. Yep. Type in the password. Oh, it did it again. I've never seen this. I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
as long as it keeps trying to spend the same UTXO another time, we're not going to be able to validate the next transaction. It also tries to double spend the that UTXO.
Should I try a new token or should we just move on? I mean, it played the first time, and again, we're in beta, so
actually, it's pretty likely that choosing another token will make it succeed.
Oh, good. Let's try that. Let's try Hosky. I'll disconnect the wallet just in case. I'll just do that, and then pick Hosky this time, and then play a song. Boom.
You'll need 500,000 Hoskies, by the way.
Yeah. And it did work. You were right on that. Yeah. Boom.
But the real star of the show here is the album purchase.
Yep.
Because this is the main mechanism where artists get direct support by selling their album as an NFT.
And I'm gonna get to that right now. I just kind of wanted to say real quick before I moved on that on the roadmap, we want to make it so that you don't have to sign a transaction each time you press play, that you'll have you'll pre-purchase some amount of play credits, and those play credits will decrement as you play the songs on the jukebox. That's how it'll work, like in-game currency. But that's in the roadmap. So that'll streamline this user experience. Another thing I want to say for you new users, we want to even use a paper wallet solution that allows people to to pay with their credit cards for those play credits. So they won't even need a wallet, and it'll help with onboarding, because I'm getting that feedback from music professionals and artists that, hey, I don't even have a Cardano wallet. I have to educate them from the back to Coinbase, back to getting a Coinbase account, filling that KYC, getting an account, and then transferring that to a custodial wallet, right? Like I have to step by step walk them through it. And so that's also something that's come up in my discussions with people. I'm learning as I go. We're all learning as we go. And these are one of the things that we've learned that we need to kind of educate people on, and kind of give people a soft landing spot so that they can have all the information. Anyway, on to the album sale. So for now, it's also not purposely, but it's also good that it's a little clunky to stream, because we want to funnel people into buying the album, right? And by buying the album, you don't have to suffer the signing the transaction every time you want to play a song. It works like a CD or a vinyl. In fact, that's what we hope to accomplish, is to establish a new music format. A new music format. Examples of previous music formats are vinyl, cassette, CD. These are the means by which music was sold in the past, where how you bought music. And so we hope that we can establish the album token, the digital album token, as the new music format. And I'll get into some of the features in it that I hope will compel a new music audience to purchase this new music format. But for now, let me demonstrate it. So you click buy on the album. Wait, you can't pay with Hosky. You have to pay with ADA with that. And so, here's your playlist. Here's your album cover. We have 19 different album covers. This is the base cover here, but there'll be 19 different variants of different colors with different rarities for the DGen crowd, right? So here's your playlist. You buy now. You type in. Another thing, this works like a beta proof of concept to demonstrate how the musicians how they can sell albums in the same way. But also, this also is a fundraising effort, right? We hope that people can see the vision here with our public domain album sale and purchase one to support the further development of the DMU protocol. So that's the plan there. So we'll load the album now. I've bought the album is in my wallet here somewhere. I mean, it's buried here. I got a bunch of.
It's on its way. Probably the wallet won't show it until the transaction is confirmed, but that doesn't mean you can't play.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so
it's
now,
ready to play.
Oh yeah, and now we just play the song. Oh, sorry, I ran out of patience and went to the next one. I should have just let it play. Boom, and it just plays. It reads that I own the album and doesn't ask me to pay per stream anymore. And that's pretty cool. I'll let it breathe a little more. Okay. And now we're done. Okay, so, and I can keep going. I mean, another, we'll just do another. Awesome.
Much better balance in the track, output track.
And so, okay, now let me unpack this new music format. So this album token is a SIP68 NFT. And so it makes the SIP68 nature of the token makes it upgradable, right? And so we want to position this music format, this new music format, this album token as a way, we want to give it actual utility. We disagree with music NFT as a collectible utility, right? This idea that we can arbitrarily limit some amount of them and therefore give it value in this way, right? Where artists are charging $50 or $100 for a song. I don't think that's a mainstream thing. I don't think that's going to go mainstream. Artists want to sell millions of albums, not an arbitrary small amount, and to make it therefore making it a collectible. So we needed to give it. To give this album token a real utility that reflects this reality that artists want to sell millions of copies. And so the base utility of the album token, before I get to SIP68, the base utility is it's an it's authenticator, right? It's authentication, right? That it's a key that accesses the music on our decentralized content serving network, right? That just, by buying the album, I now am granted access through a key to the music in this decentralized content server network. And we can unpack that later. That's another.
It's real simple token gated access to the music
Boom.
that you bought.
Yep. Token gated access to the music that you bought. Boom. Exactly that. But that's for the artist, right? That's what's compelling for the artist, right? The fact that they can sell albums again really quickly. Artists can set their own prices, by the way, but let's say they charge $30 for the album. Well, they would make the same amount of money selling 100 albums than 1 million streams at 0.003 cents a play, which is a third of a penny that Spotify on average pays out artists. That's $3,000, right? 1 million streams at 0.003 is the same amount of money as 100 albums sold at $30, $3,000. And so artists can make the same amount of money with a smaller fan base and grow that audience and get paid directly. But what compel fans to buy this album is the SIP68 nature of the album token. It makes the token upgradable, which effectively makes it like a loyalty rewards program, gamifying the fan experience. And I'll give some examples to make that crystal clear. Examples of engagement that artists can incentivize are: play my songs 1,000 times, level up the album token. Come to 5 of my shows, level up the album token. And by leveling up this album token, being granted access to additional experiences, rewards, or other rewards that the artists or the record labels may craft to incentivize some cohort of their fan base to purchase the album instead of streaming the songs. And we're not saying that we're doing away with music streaming or we're replacing music streaming. We're just relegating it to a supplementary revenue stream, but making the album sale the main source of income. And we believe that this idea of gamifying the fan experience and allowing artists to sort, because the nature of the NFT or the album token, we don't want to use the word NFT anymore. It's an album, but the nature of it means that the artist can see every person who bought the album, who supported the album, and now because of SIP 68, that they can sort that those customers from most engaged to the least engaged, and thereby tailoring a relationship with their fan base, right? A tailored relationship. In layman's terms, if I'm an artist and I can see who my best supporters are, me and you are going to be besties, right? We're going to be best friends. And I think that is super compelling for some cohort of the fan base that wants that direct relationship with the artist they support. I think it's super compelling.
As a fan, I just want to, when I pay, I want that money to support the artist that I'm enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Session, we've got a question for Martin.
Go ahead, Martin. Hit me.
Do you expect to have more or different business models possibilities? Like you could also do like a really expensive album, which is not finished, where you share in the revenue or stuff like that.
I love that, Martin. I spoke about the music NFT as a collectible, that positioning as something we disagree with. And what it is that we don't want to do away with $1,000 music album or music NFT. We just want to make that another tier, perhaps, right? Where there is a tier for the general public or the general fan base, and then something more, perhaps, for the collector that can afford that, right? And you can imagine that artists can imbue in it what you just described, or any kind of cool experience or use case that will compel people to purchase that higher tier merch, right? Yeah.
And that those different business models for music are definitely available in terms of ecosystem developers that we want to incentivize to develop those business models. We don't expect for our team to implement every last business model, or even to dictate what the market needs to look like. We really want to incentivize developers and let the market be what the market is.
Okay, so these
NFT market. Oh, go ahead, Martin. Yep, go ahead.
This protocol already supports those kind of business models.
We're going to continue to develop the protocol to support those business models as they come online. So that's a very long no.
But I like it.
It's the vision that we want to kickstart an ecosystem of app developers to build on it across all the myriad ways that one can generate revenue on IP. NFT marketplaces, music metaverses who need to pay royalties for the music being performed in those virtual spaces. We got fractional royalties. There's music collaboration tools. I mean, there's all sorts of apps that can be built up, music streaming platforms with different business models, subscription models. I mean, there's pay-per-play models. There's all manner of them. And we let the market determine what the winner is. Perhaps there's an application that comes in and totally eats the jukebox's lunch. We're fine with that, right? This is decentralized. This is an open marketplace. And we just want to make sure that via the DMU protocol, that the artists are being paid their royalties for the revenue being generated by those applications, including our own. Let me take a swig. So yeah, so this is just the first application built on top, and our strategy, our go-to-market strategy, at least for me, because for me it was difficult to explain all this to a music professional. And so now by having this beta, I can now demonstrate it and in real time show them that when I press play on a song over here, that over there, the wallet gets paid. And that kernel of the idea, and also the story we tell with the music, this new music format, I believe that, I mean, it's already springboarding deeper conversations with various music professionals that I'm in contact with, right? And our go-to-market strategy is to, there's this flywheel that we hope to kickstart, starting with the artists and record labels, specifically a cohort of that art of this. There's a cohort, a section of this cohort that legacy musicians, legacy artists, people that already had success in the past, Busta Rhymes, Snoop Dogg, artists like this who have expired record contracts. They no longer have a record deal, but have an existing fan base, right? And so we want to start with those. I think that's a smart idea, to start with those guys who can offer new music via the jukebox and offer it directly to the consumer and generate revenue back towards them. And I believe that there will be a tipping point where some amount of these type of artists on the jukebox selling music will start to attract the second ecosystem actor in this flywheel effect, and that is the app developer, right? With the licensable content that Busta Rhymes and Fabulous and Snoop Dogg will make available to the DMU protocol, it'll start to attract app developers who will now plug into the DMU protocol and have access to this licensable content so that they can generate revenue in whatever way their app does, right? And so by that app building on top of the DMU protocol as well, it'll multiply the earning potential of that underlying IP, right? The more apps are built on top of DMU, the more sales channels open up to the underlying IP, therefore, or thereby attracting even more artists to the protocol, right? And by attracting more artists and their fans to the protocol comes the third leg of this flywheel, the node operators who are getting paid a fraction of the fee from the sale of the music as a network fee to make available the music in the DMU network, in the DMU, via this decentralized content serving network. We want to make that decentralized. Google pays Spotify pays Google $450 million over 3 years for Google to store all this content. And we just want to disintermediate that. That's a hidden cost that eats away at artist profits. And by making it decentralized, you pass the cost on to the end user, which increases the earning potential, the earning of the artist, right? They don't have to suffer this overhead. And for the end user, the fan, with millions of people using it, it ends up being dust, right? It's nothing for them. It's not nearly as much as it would be for the artist. And the node operators can make a living, which I think is exciting, right? And so it's this flywheel effect, right? That artists attracts app developers, which attracts more artists, which attracts node operators, and then it creates this virtuous cycle that we hope to kickstart. All decentralized. I ranted for a little bit there, so I'll breathe a little bit now. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll end with a call to action. Again, this jukebox is meant to demonstrate the system in action and our capability, to be frank, right? To especially a music professional who doesn't understand the technology, understand how it works, or even understands if I'm the person that can even do this, or with my team, obviously, that we can do this. So by demonstrating it, we can springboard those deeper conversations, but also it's a way to fundraise, right? We ran out of that Project Catalyst funding months ago. I think January, right? For the most part, we ran out of most of the money by then. And so we need to explore. We need support from the community to continue our development efforts. We hope Project Catalyst Fund 10 comes online. We hope also that I'm able to sign up some amount of those legacy artists to start selling their music in this way, and incrementally get to the point in this flywheel, in this journey, to attract investors that'll speed up that flywheel, right? The adoption. So that's where we're at, and so I hope also that I'll share a link to the Discord. We also need beta testers. Yeah, Randall's giving me notes. I can't read them right now. I can't read them, but I'll read them later. But I know that they're probably feedback. Where's the chat here? Chat. Okay. So here's a link to our Discord, and we are looking for more beta testers, right? We want to make sure this thing is stable before we roll it out, do a public launch. And so I hope that I can get some of you guys to come on in and help us out.
Session, maybe you can mention where will the money from the NFT album sale go to, like the
it's going to the development of the DMU protocol, right? Yeah, that's where it's going. So yeah, the money that the public domain works generate is going directly 100% to funding because there's so many more things that we need to do. I'll list some of them now. I'll treat you guys like an investor. I already mentioned one of them. We want to make sure that you don't have to actually sign a transaction every single time you play a song, right? 1, 2, we want a KYC artist, because for right now, in order to onboard the artist, we have to do it ourselves, right? I think that's the mantra, I think, by the VCs: do things that don't scale, right? So in the beginning, we will do things that don't scale by onboarding these artists ourselves one by one. We need to make sure that the music is theirs, right? That they own it, that they have the rights to it. But what we want to do is implement a KYC solution that will make it so that artists and record labels can KYC themselves, and thus make themselves liable, right? Responsible for the music that's being uploaded to the DMU network, right? So that if, let's say, in the spectrum of things that can go wrong, or scams, or ways that you can infringe upon someone else's copyright, there's, on one end, there is a Tom, Dick, and Harry pretending they're a famous artist and selling their music and generating revenue on that. But on the other end, it could be as simple as, I forgot to attribute a rights holder to the song, right? And so that there needs to be a way for that rights holder to seek damages, and actually, by the transparent nature of the blockchain, they can actually even understand exactly how much that IP generated and seek damages for their percentage of that song. So KYC, paper wallets, we want to make it so that it's easy to onboard onto here, that you don't even need a NAMI wallet. You can pay with credit cards. A bunch of other things on the roadmap the
decentralizing the content serving network and supporting more applications, more music licensing use cases. Yeah, that's the thing that's front and center for me, and with regard to that question.
100%. So your support is appreciated, and I don't know, I ran out of things to say. I think I hit it all. And did I miss anything, Peter, Randall? I love that I can talk in Gimbalabs. We're at home here. We're chilling,
I'd love to hear.
It's great. It makes a lot of sense, man.
What curiosities are you guys feeling?
I've talked about it. I've talked about it so many times with these guys. I think I gave you guys nearly the same spiel a couple weeks ago too. So I think people understand it enough that they just want to play with it. So I hope that you guys can come in and beta test, like I said, and support the project and just keep track of what we're doing because, you know, as you can hear it in my voice, we're deeply passionate about this. So, yeah.
Yay, Sesh, you're right. So if we're spreading the word, as well as beta testing, who do you want us to be speaking to about what?
The community.
Artists?
The Cardano community, primarily. See, I have artists and I've built a relationship with the artists in Cardano, like listening room. There's about Six City. There's a couple different hubs, right? But what I need to happen, or what would help me bolster my story, is that we get some we get some support from the community to play the songs, buy the albums, because that's going to help me tell the story to the record labels and the artists that I'm in contact with. Like, yo, we're selling this many albums, we're making this much money, and you would have to sell this many streams in order to make the same amount. It's telling that story. And so we need validation, right? We need to be able to validate that people would buy albums in the manner that we're describing. And so spreading the word and getting the Cardano community to understand this mission and supporting the project in that way allows me to tell a better story.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah.
And if you know any artists who would like to sell their albums
That too.
with a player that's ready to use, bring them. We're ready to bring them to the market.
Great.
And we got a couple of them already that we're kind of, we're starting to onboard. We're figuring out that protocol for onboarding artists, right? Because these are, like, again, feeling our way in the dark, and as those items come up, figuring out how best to approach that or how best to do that thing, right?
Session. Are you are you talking about people from your music industry contacts, or are you talking about new people from the Web3 community?
Both. Yeah, the listening room, there's a bunch of artists there that are interested in signing up. And then there are Tony Dofat. He was a longtime producer for Bad Boy Records, Diddy, and all that. He was Diddy's right-hand producer. He produced for Mary J. Blige. Making the band, he produced the TV, the TV show, the audio there, a bunch of other stuff. He's a multi-platinum producer, and he's recently gotten into Web3. So it was an easier conversation to have with him because he already kind of understood a lot of the basics. And so, in fact, I went through an interrogation. He interrogated me the other day, and afterwards, asked to do this, asked to be able to sell his music in the way that I described. So and be an advisor as well.
He was grilling you, huh?
He was grilling because he's also an assistant. He's also an assistant professor. He teaches this shit. And so that's also a signal of credibility that he asked to join us as an advisor, and he could also help spread the word within the music industry as well. So very encouraging there, but also Mecca from Viper Records is my friend. He's Busta Rhymes A&R, but he also is the president of Viper Records, an independent record label based in New York City. Immortal Technique being the biggest artist on Viper Records, a big independent artist. So he wants to use it right away. So again, incrementally getting onboarding these people, showing signals of credibility by building with these guys and getting some community support. And again, slowly but surely revving up this engine, right? And to the point that perhaps we get some investment so that we can really go faster.
I was just thinking about, I don't actually know him personally to speak to, but Chris Hockaday, Liberty Chris from Twitter, the Drip Drops.
Oh, he just followed me the other day. Okay, yeah. He's a musician?
He's a musician, yeah. In fact, he's a really good artist. He does all sorts. He's like artisan, I'd call him. Digital, tech, motorbikes,
I'm gonna hit
whatever.
him up.
And yeah,
Oh.
and I've heard him do like a little singer-songwriter piece on Twitter before, and he was very good.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
yeah.
if you're gonna have like a headline Cardano own homebrew artist, somebody like that, build them
I
up,
like
and
that.
give them a platform, would be very cool.
Thank you.
And that
Thank you
might
for
suck the
that.
community in as well.
I did not know that about him. I know about Shart. You know Shart?
Sharp. I've seen
Shart.
the name.
Yeah. He's always like live performing on Twitter Spaces, like literally playing with his guitar and like going like and freestyling lyrics. Even it's great. Yeah,
Nice. No, I haven't seen that yet. I'm gonna have to look him up.
yeah. His name is
Shart.
Shart. It's a hilarious name too. But
Yeah. Nobody likes a shot.
so yeah,
So,
and the living room, there's a bunch of artists there as well. Actually, they were upset with me. I mean, early they were like, "Why would you release public domain works instead of our works?" We and we got James here in the house. Duh, he's a musician. Let's not forget about our boy James up in here.
I got
What's
an
the name of
album
your
ready
band?
to go. It's all yours.
There you go. That's
Tell me when
right.
it's time.
Right now is time. Right.
All right. Let's
Right,
put it up
Randall?
there.
This is the time. Let's do it. You got MP3 files, you got them tagged.
He's ready.
Yeah,
You got
everything's
MP3
ready.
files? What's up?
All right, we'll push them through.
They
This is
need-
Playground.
They need MP3 style metadata attached to them, or is there
That'd be
something
best.
special you expect?
That's the easiest thing.
Can
Yeah.
you just send me the expectation?
Just baseline stuff. Composer, artist, track name.
And please own the rights
uh,
to everything, right? I imagine, James, you guys play your own music. So you own all the rights to it. Okay, good.
Mhm.
Yeah, if there's if you're doing covers, we'll have to make sure to hook into paying the royalties for the composers. But if you've got rights to the tracks,
No,
then,
it should be in the docs though. Like, I understand what you're saying, just basic stuff around the MP3 metadata, but
We should create a draft.
There should be clear expectations somewhere.
Yeah,
where
well,
you can just look at
good
it.
good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not what you're saying is it's not about you knowing, it's about people knowing.
Right. It'd be an
We'll do it.
honor, James, to sell your music on this thing. You were one of the first to help me kind of craft this story with this proof of concept jukebox, and I'm eternally grateful for you. Again, we have some DNI tokens in an Excel doc allotted to you, just waiting for us to actually mint the damn thing so that you can get those. We have not even minted them. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. I've been looking forward to getting music out there this way, and just been waiting for the right chance. And it's really exciting. The time is now to be.
And you can accept Gimbal tokens too if you want.
This is Playground. One of the traditions in Playground is ideation. What comes up for you all in terms of like ideas of licensing use cases or music applications that you'd like to make or see made on the platform?
I mean, just before even getting into the details, this is it, right? This is the new model. And we've been teaching people just to start wrapping their heads around headless applications in the Plutus PBL program. And this is such a prime example, right? You build a new protocol session, you're getting really good at describing it, right? And then on top of it is where another layer of action happens. That's incredibly compelling. I don't think our imaginations have been sufficiently unlocked. And so I'm really excited about the role that this project can play in getting people to say, yeah, I'm not a dev, but I'm a tastemaker, right? The tastemakers should be the ones running the platforms, right? As a dev, you're going to be able to learn how to use this API relatively quickly, mess around with it. But what exactly does the dApp need to look and feel like, right? This opens up whole new conversations for people to do that. I'm fascinated by the role discoverability is going to play, right? Just because I am building an application on top of the DEMU protocol doesn't mean I'm going to celebrate everything on it, right? And maybe, you know, what kinds of deals are going to start to happen in the background. Hey, make sure that I'm featured on your platform, right? That's it's just an interesting reimagining of a lot. These aren't all brand new ideas, right? But I think the opportunities to like reimagine those relationships and really help. You know, I think Cardano has the best non-developer community in the entire blockchain industry, right? Sometimes they're a little too loud and uninformed, but they do have a lot of good ideas, right? So let's unlock that next wave of thinking from people who've got ideas and then they're waiting for a chance to make it happen.
You know, springboarding off what you just said, James, it just comes to mind, you know, this idea of an embeddable music player, a blockchain connected embeddable music player on any that you can put on your website and offer your music directly. The album is but a playlist. So you can imagine that any person, not just artists, even non-musicians, could create their own playlist on an embeddable blockchain connected music player connected to their website, and they can perhaps curate a list of music pulled from the DEMU network, right, from the content serving part, right, and so generating their own playlist and getting and funneling listeners to that. And so if each play converts into an actual sale, then that playlister is effectively an affiliate marketer and therefore should get a share of the revenue, a small piece of the revenue that he or she is generating for those artists. So you can imagine that even playlisters, there will be like an ecosystem of playlisters that'll start to create their own playlists that they'll propagate. Some will fail, some will succeed, right? Some will be more popular than others, right? And you can imagine the most popular playlisters being able to make money off of their love of music, of putting people onto good music, right? And yeah, I think that's super exciting. Oh, that was the other point. And it kind of replaces, or it gives an alternative to algorithmic fucking playlists and or centralized playlists, right? Spotify being paid to, you know, have their favorite people in a playlist, and that's all you get, right? It democratizes this ability, and I think that's super exciting. So that's kind of what you touched on that I think is exciting too. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, algorithmically generated playlists leave me feeling empty. It's been the long, slow descent into just not giving a fuck about anything because of Spotify algo playlists. And I need to go back to those days of there being a human touch on what I'm choosing to listen to.
I can trade my playlist with you. You trade it with me. You know what I mean? I might take from yours. You might take from mine.
That's
right?
exactly what I was thinking. It's the soullessness of Spotify suggestions and whatnot, and even just the ineptitude of it as well. Like, you should know me by now. The fact that I'm a coder, I don't like lyrics in my listening between the hours of X and X, and it doesn't know. So actually having someone who can create, like, and it sort of resurrects the mixtape. You send someone a mixtape and it was a special thing, wasn't it? It was, you'd put thought and effort and care into it. We could bring this back. And I love the idea of it being like, I suppose the most equivalent is a white label sort of service, is that actually you create whatever you want from this. But it's that headless dApp approach that, every artist that comes along and has got some funding and already got some exposure can build their own UI onto it, and it becomes part of that whole, like, the album creative process can be all about the stream mechanism as well, rather than just, and we have to stick it on this centralized service to gonna attract the followers. And no, I can craft this thing, I can make it interact and be intuitive as I want it to. It's really cool. It's great. Excited.
Yeah.
I'm really bigging it up to my brother because he's a musician as well, and he just,
James, we're gonna sell your album ASAP.
Great.
That's done. Done. We got to get that documentation for you, and we appreciate that prompt. We definitely, these are the things that we need to figure out that we maybe we don't know we need to do yet, or we did, but it was, we pushed the law, we kicked the can down the road. Well, now is the time that we need that. Yeah.
I could send you MP3s right now, but just
Right. We need a process.
yeah.
For sure. Well, yeah, so that's all I got. I appreciate you guys. Let's see if there's anything I missed. Randall told me to breathe. He said, wait for people to ask questions. Good advice. I'm too much of an open book, guys. Like, you can't tell me anything. I might say it.
Yeah.
That's just me. I'm learning in front of everyone, and I don't try to hide it. But anyway, so I guess that's it. And I'm speaking to Adriano a little bit here. We're still super interested in understanding how we can use Game Changer in this with this platform with DMU, and so it still kind of goes over my head how Game Changer is different, but I'm just relying on my big brain CTO, my technical guys to kind of unpack that with you so we can deliver some, they can translate to me.
Hey, session. Hey, guys. Hey, sorry, I was like kind of doing
No, it's all good, bro.
at the same time, but I heard you, and well, amazing what you're accomplishing already. And let's have, if you want the call, and we can discuss how. We can discuss what's coming. I cannot make deadline promises here, but it's going to be much easier for CIP 30 already products, DApps, to become, to start integrating Game Changer. I hope Q3 maybe of this year it's going to happen. But right now we are on beta pre-production testnet. But right now you could actually be doing a lot of stuff. Just, of course, Game Changer works differently, but you can do probably the same stuff you're already doing.
I want to collaborate with all Cardano projects. The KYC solution, we're exploring IMX, right? We're exploring them for that. Winter is a solution that it's a paper wallet solution so that people can pay for NFTs using their credit card, and that's also compatible with Cardano, with ADA. So this is Game Changer. This is what we want to do. We don't want to build all these things. We want to collaborate with those that are already building these things and just kind of grow together.
That's great. Thanks. Spoiler alert. I mean, as usual, I don't like to promise deadlines because small team, it's a
same here. I understand 100%.
But the idea is to when you use URLs to connect with Game Changer. So any website can redirect very quickly to a page, actually Game Changer wallet, where it can you can try to make people do transactions or do some stuff like signing messages, whatever. The spoiler alert here is that there is already some features, but more are coming in the future. That the hope is that we can integrate, for example, credit and debit card conversions right there. So you don't have a user onboarded on Cardano. It's the first time someone clicks on a URL from Game Changer, from your site, for example, redirecting to Game Changer to execute some stuff. Right there, a burner wallet creates, and for example, you can fund that wallet maybe with a credit, debit card, or whatever. This is the plan. This is the plan. We are heading towards that. But of course, please be patient. There is so much.
I won't hold you to it. I'll give you a year.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but I will try. I will try to Q3 allow all this stuff. Right now, we are in a mess with Ledger. We don't know what to do with Ledger. because we were super focused on integrating Ledger, but now with this Ledger Gate thing,
Right.
I don't know what to do because I have to ditch so much. Even I've spent on some hardware devices with Catalyst money, and now it's like I accidentally did it wrong. We focused on Ledger more than Trezor, and now we're complicated with that. But yeah, I have to solve this stuff with this. I mean, this is priority. But yeah, that's at least keep in mind that these are on Q3, I hope these are going to be features that you can use, consume on mainnet, on Game Changer Wallet. So please be patient, and believe me, there's a great future here, but one step at a time. And congratulations. I've been asking, maybe you missed the question or you replied to it, I missed it, I'm sorry. I was working here. Is there going to be a way to integrate DMU protocol for the developers? How can a developer integrate the protocol? Maybe it's going to be a library, an SDK, because you have off-chain stuff, as far as I understand. So
yeah, so there will be a way. I wish Randall was here for that to answer this question better than I will be able to now. But yeah, there will be a way. There'll be documentation, APIs. You said SDKs. I don't know what the difference between API and SDK, but one of those things that allow you to connect or plug in to the DMU protocol, right? And so there will be ways for app developers to do that for 100%. That is the goal, to make it headless, right? To make it so that anyone can just plug right into it and build their application on top.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's keep in touch, guys. So maybe we can arrange, a call, and we can talk about.
I'm gonna ping you again right now, right on the Discord.
Okay.
I don't waste any time. Let's go.
Okay.
I appreciate you, Adriano, for sure.
No, thanks to you also to try to integrate Game Changer, because we are the how do you say, guys, in English? Like the black duck,
Black horse.
You get the expression.
Yeah. I got it. What is it? The black sheep?
The black sheep.
With the black sheep or the dark horse, maybe.
Oh, the dark horse. True.
We are more misunderstood than actually being a black sheep. That's why we're. But it's okay. It's okay.
That's a good line.
We like to do it differently, so it's our blame, my blame, but it's okay. It's okay.
No, for sure. Trust me, I hear you on that. A lot of people still don't understand. Every time I say DMU, they want to say music streaming platform. No, it's the protocol. But people, it just goes over their head,
That's why I asked about the integration. I get that idea. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, I mean, I'm done here, and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get some breakfast. So if there's any other questions, let me know. James, we're gonna work on that documentation so that we can onboard you. We're gonna treat you. You're an artist. And that's our conversation. That's going to be our conversation with you as an artist. So we're going to learn from onboarding you with that perspective in mind.
I love a learn by doing approach. Sounds great. And that'll help because we can contribute to some of the docs. And we sent you a cryptic tweet about Andamio the other day, but Andamio is coming. And that's
I know, it was super cryptic. I'm like, what is this? I'm trying to decipher the name. Okay, what does that's the name.
Scaffold. Yep, scaffold. Cardano native learning management, but more importantly, onboarding platform. What's the distinction, right, between onboarding and learning management, really? So
fire.
But thinking about what we have to do, right? How do you create embedded docs to get people to where they need to be? So it's fun to think about that. Let me know if I could send a WAV file. That's pretty much all I've got.
Cool.
I'll convert to MP3 if I have to, but would rather just give you the real thing.
Yeah, because we're thinking about, somebody asked about FLAC, lossless audio. And so perhaps there might be a tier where you can pay extra to listen to the lossless audio versus the MP3. So it does make sense that you send us WAV files so that we can encode it into these different formats,
Cool.
All
That's
right, guys.
awesome. That'll be fun. All right, man. Thanks for this. Great presentation. Great updates.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you, guys, man.
Martin asked the most important question and no one replied.
Well, oh wait, I missed all the questions in the chat.
This is terrible session. How you could miss that question? So
There are
where are the t-shirts?
I saw it.
Yep.
I
Yep.
saw it. I saw it.
Where's the merch store, man? Where's the merch?
This is
I'm-
the
I-
music
I-
industry.
I minted these. I minted these shirts for Consensus last year. So they even have old taglines. It says Web3 music. It's not Web3 anymore. It's Music Rights Protocol now.
It
So
says protocol though. It's got that word.
yes, it has that word. Yeah.
Okay, we are going to mint our own on pre-prod, If you don't send us the official one, we're going to clone
Yeah,
them.
these are pre-prod shirts. I like
You
that.
hold still, I'll just do a copy paste.
Oh, you got his whole face on your shirt now, though. Be careful.
It's funny. All right, guys. I appreciate being able to spend some time with you guys and sharing what I've spent almost 2 years of my life building. Super passionate about, and I'm not gonna give up. I tweeted about it. Only death will stop me. So it's
Happening.
so dramatic, but that's what it is.
Good things.
Yeah.
All right. Catch you soon. Thanks for
Good.
this. See
Yeah.
ya.
Thanks. Ish.
Well, what else is going on? I don't have to jump off right away. I mean, usually we check in PBL around this time. Adrian and I can talk, but Piotr, John,
Hmm.
what's the word?
Not much.
No, just head down, chug it away.
Yeah.
How's PBL going?
Good. We've been kind of like transitioning from the first half of the course where it's all the onboarding and building background knowledge, and now trying to blur the lines between specializing and contributing. I don't want to make artificial modules for people to say I'm specializing in this when really there's just awesome projects to get into and to build up a record of having specialized or those chances to learn by doing. So it's exciting, but I want to get it right. So playing around with some data right now and some rah to get people excited.
Certificates.
Yeah, little, just even we made the little change, like we're not going to release the 300 level modules until a minimum number of students finish the halfway project. And that gives everybody an incentive to help each other out and get over that line. And by doing so, we know that we'll have a minimum number of people who understand what a headless DApp is. That's because that's the main thing they're learning, right? They're grabbing a contract, compiling it, parameterizing and compiling it, and then using it to participate in an aggregator. And so seeing that model, I'm hoping it helps people understand what Demo's doing, for example.
Yeah. It's a lot to get your head around for everybody, and so doing it collectively as a group and getting other people to pull each other along is definitely a good move, I think. Yeah, exciting.
Piotr, one such project would be Bonfire, of course. This is I made the claim to Steve. So like you've built like a mobile app that's really good. I made the claim to Steve that if we left behind the mobile part and we just decided to do it, we could finish Bonfire in a month. Just a matter deciding to do it.
What do you mean by this? By deciding to leave the mobile part? You mean the smart contract only, or?
Just, well, I mean, right, exactly. Making sure that the smart contracts are there. And I mean, the hardest part about the mobile app is that you've got to build a wallet yourself, right? Or create bridges that are not always easy to use. All of those bridges exist if we just make it a web-based application to start, right? So smart contracts and web interface, we could move fast on it, and this could be a project that people work on, right? As they are specializing in smart contracts and or UIs.
I see. Yeah, I think like at this point it will be faster for me to finish the mobile application than switching to a browser. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we can make it headless, right? This is the other thing. We make the smart contracts, use the same ones in both instances, and have them accessible by both methods. That's a great example to set.
Yeah.
I'll hit you up though as we get into that, the doing part of the course.
Yeah, sure. Cool.
I realize we're still live streaming, so I'll cut that for now.